YouTubers, Flying Brian here. It's a weekend and it's a project day. Got a 1990 Ford Ranger. It's 23 years old. It's 2013. And I've got to replace the upper and lower ball joints on this vehicle. And I've never done this before, but I kind of have a pretty good idea how it's done, so I'm going to take you step by step through everything I do to get this job completed. To begin, there are the 4 ball joints, upper and lowers, for left and right side. I'm also going to be replacing the shock struts as well, so I got 2 new shock struts. I'm going to have it all apart, so it makes that pretty easy. I've got a couple of jack stands, a jack, and we're going to go ahead and I'm going to place everything under the truck, get it up off the ground so I can get the front wheels off. And the first step, get the wheel off the vehicle. There it comes. Okay, with the wheel off you can get a better idea where these things are. Okay, one of them is right there, and the other one is just above it, right there. I'm going to remove the entire spindle assembly here, which means this has got to come off. The brake caliper over here has got to come off. There's a bolt right down there that's got to come out, and I'm going to loosen this up and remove this through bolt right here. To remove the brake caliper, I have to remove these 2 keeper pins. Okay, well, let's see if this works. I've got a vice grip on the front end, because these will pull through towards me. There it comes. These keeper pins can be driven out in the other direction as well. Pull it through from the other side a little bit. Let's see if I can get the other one to come through too. I'm squeezing the opposite end together. There's a couple of detents I gotta get past. There it comes. And out it comes. That's, with those 2 brake keepers out, the whole assembly now can come out. There it goes. Out it goes. Set it on that. Now I've got to remove this tie rod in here. There's a cotter pin I'm going to basically bend together and pull on through. Okay, with the cotter pin out, I'm going to get my impact wrench and get this off. Let's see if I can loosen it up. A couple of wraps. There it is. Came out. Probably not the best way to do it, but this is brass. It's not a piece of steel, so it's just softer than a nut. Now next, I've got to get this through bolt out. Okay, that's out. So next is this lower spindle, lower ball joint retaining nut. Alright, we've got a 15/16. Open it, wrench. Oh, let's move it, okay. The nut pretty much loose. I put it on for a couple of threads there just to keep the whole assembly from falling completely off the axle when I knock it free. I'm hoping that just a couple of swats with this pickle bar will get the whole thing loose. And I know you didn't see it, but the pickle bar worked perfect. The whole assembly is now just falling out and loose. Now I can take this off and the whole thing will come out in my hands. There it is. One tool you kind of have to get is ball joint press, and that's going to help me press these out because they are a press fit inside the fitting here. And here is the entire spindle assembly, top ball joint or upper ball joint. You can see here there is a spring clamp that I've got to get removed. Yep. Now here's my ball joint removal process here. Got this big clamp, ball joints inside this lug here. This threaded pin is going to be pushing down and the ball joint will be going into this receiver cup here. Let's see how it works. And here is how I get the ball joints pressed back in. Now that I've got both the top and lower ball joints installed, I'm going to go ahead and reinstall the entire spindle. What I'm doing here, I've got a jack down below, if you can see it. I'm not sure. Let's see if I can show the jack. Right there. Because the spindle's kind of heavy, and I get it positioned just right under the spindle, and I jack it up. Okay, now that it's there, let's quickly put this castle nut on. Oops. I've got it tight. I want to put the cotter pin through. There it is. Let me get this top one on here. Reversing the removal process, reinsert and tighten the bolt in the top ball joint. Time to put the brake caliper back on. That's that. Now we put these keeper pins back in. Got the bottom one started. Put the top one in. Until they snap. Okay, that's done. And one of the last things is to put the steering tie rod end in. Alright, I'm not going to get it real tight with this. Okay, I've got my cotter key in there. The front wheel is now back on, and everything looks good. Definitely took the better part of the day. I think I started around noontime at 6 o'clock in the evening. But I thank you for tuning in. Hope you learned something on replacing the ball joints on my 1990 Ford Ranger. Remember, life's a journey. Enjoy the ride. And as always, thanks for watching, folks.